So the January transfer window is not far away, and us Wolves fans want to see a busy window. We want to be seeing the squad strengthened and looking at players in particular. There have been reports and rumours that maybe the money isn't quite there, but I'm hoping, and my fingers are crossed, that those reports are false and we'll see a few quality players come to Molineux in January. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be looking at 5 players that could be available in January for Wolves to strengthen the current playing squad, whether that be on a full transfer or on a loan deal. Please do let me know your thoughts on these 5 players today, and of course, let me know your suggestions in the comment section down below. I'd love to see them. But before we kick off, a big thank you to today's video sponsors, which is Top 11. It's a free-to-play football management game available on iOS, Android and web browsers. The game has been played by over 240 million players worldwide, and it's available in 31 languages. As a football manager in Top 11, you're in charge of every aspect of your club, signing players, running training, setting up formations and leading the squad to winning trophies. There are 4 competitions happening in every Top 11 season. You've got the League, the Cup, the Champions League and the Super League. You can team up with your friends to play against other groups of managers around the world. And there is a new update coming, which is the Winter Craze update. Get ready for it, because in Top 11, starting from the 5th December, within a 2-month period, you can experience 4 different live events, numerous exciting offers and community activations. You can compete with players from the community for trophies and see who gets to grab the Winter Throne at the end. During the Winter Craze update, you can go into space to face off against a difficult lineup of robot clubs on the moon. So, Top 11 2022, guys. There is a link at the top of the description down below, so be sure to check it out. Grab it, download it, and keep yourself busy over this Christmas period with a fun-to-play football game. But talking about football management and so on, I'm channeling my inner manager here to try and recommend some signings for Wolves. We're going to kick off with the first player, which is Mr. Brownton Diaz. He's a player that you may well be seeing on the headlines a little bit more, especially over the last 12 months or so, as he's a player who, of course, was born in England, born in the UK, and has somehow managed to represent Chile at international level. But at club level, he's been absolutely smashing it this season for Blackburn Rovers. He scored 17 goals in 21 matches this season, and it's almost like he's flicked a switch since he's sort of changed nationality and had so much press over in Chile. He's really hit the ground running this season for Blackburn Rovers. Still only 22 years of age, seems to have been around for a number of years now, but still very, very young. And in my opinion, could be the ideal player, an ideal senior striker to possibly give a bit more competition to Jimenez, but someone that is possibly still happy to maybe be second string and second choice. This would obviously allow Fabio Silva to go out on loan as well, because we've fitted that second striker role. He is out of contract at Blackburn Rovers at the end of this season. They do have an option to extend that for another year, I believe, but it wouldn't surprise me that if offers came flying in this January, Blackburn would consider them. So whilst he's on hot form, Brownton Diaz, who was recommended to me on Twitter, by the way, before recording this video, is one that Wolves should take a look at. Player number 2 is somebody that has been linked with Wolves previously. We're looking at Benoit Stoch, the big man from Monaco. He's a young French centre-back, but believe it or not, he's been playing now for 4 years. Got 4 years of top-flight experience. Kicked off with Monaco and got into their first team at the age of just 17 years old. He's an absolute giant of a defender at 6'4". And like I say, Wolves were interested in him before, and I think it's time that they reignite that interest. You can see by his statistics and percentiles here from FB Ref that how good of a defender he is, but also how good on the ball he is. This is Benoit Stoch against other centre-backs across the top 5 leagues over the last year. And basically, the green attributes and the green percentiles are the things that he's good at or ranking really well at compared to these centre-backs across the top leagues in Europe. You can see actually by his attacking attributes and, assist-wise, and his shot-creating actions are really, really high. On the ball, he seems pretty comfortable too. Good amount of progressive passes, good amount of passes completed, and progressive carries as well. His number of pressures and tackles per game are a little bit low, but interceptions, clearances, and aerials won have a really, really good ranking. There's no secret that Wolves do need to improve their backline, although at the time of recording, Wolves have a pretty good defensive record. I think fans still want to see that area of the team strengthened, at least with some depth. Willy Bolly's having continuous injury issues. Romain Saiss, again at the time of recording, his contract is still up at the end of the season, so there's question marks over the future of Wolves' backline. My only concern with Badiashile would be, is he going to leave France? He's been at Monaco for years now. Is he going to want to move club? I don't know, but I think with the links between Wolves, between Monaco, we've signed players from them before. Obviously, they've got a link with Jorge Mendes as well. This move is doable. We're moving back to England now, and we're going to be looking at the Premier League, in particular Manchester United. We're going to be looking at Donny van de Beek, another player that has been linked with Wolves over the last couple of months or so in the media. And he's been a player that has really, really struggled to break into the Manchester United first team. In fact, he's made just 4 Premier League starts in the last 12 months in the Premier League for Manchester United. Of course, he wasn't wanted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Could the situation change under Ralf Rangnick? I don't know, but it's reported that Donny van de Beek is looking to change his agent, to try and push a move to another team. And Manchester United might want to see Van de Beek at another Premier League team, out on loan. Similar situation to Jesse Lingard last year. However, Wolves' terms of business, if they're loaning a player, they always want that guarantee that they may well be able to buy him at the end of that loan deal. If we look on FB Ref and look at his percentiles, once again, there's some really strong ones in areas that I think could benefit Wolves. Against other midfielders over the last year in these top 5 leagues, again, his expected assists and his amount of assists has been really, really strong. His non-penalty goals are really strong as well for the minutes that he's been playing. And dribbles completed, just on the ball, a really solid player. And I think he could add a lot to this current Wolves team. We're now flying across to Argentina, and it's a player that we're going to be looking at that has been touted pretty highly over the last year or so. Julian Alvarez has scored 17 goals in just 20 games in 2021 for River Plate in Argentina, and he's helped them win the league title. He also got 6 assists for the Argentinian side, meaning he had the most goal contributions over there this year. He's just 21 years of age, but huge potential, huge promise with him. And there are reports that he has a release clause of around £20 million in his contract. Of course, for Wolves, from a commercial point of view, it brings this South America appeal. A lot of these signings for Wolves, they are looking at obviously the quality of the player, but anything to do with the commercial side of things will just grow for Wolves, and it's a real positive for Wolves as well. But can Wolves afford to bring in a fair whack of money, bring in a player that maybe hasn't quite conquered Europe yet? We've seen with Fabio Silva spend a huge amount of money on him, and it's just not quite clicked as of yet. Can Wolves afford to do that with another player, albeit scoring a huge amount of goals over in South America? And for the final player, we're going to be flying back across to England, and we're actually going to be looking at Nat Phillips. Now, this is an interesting one with Nat Phillips. He's a player who's constantly linked with a move away from Anfield in the summer. He made 17 appearances for them last season. Not played as of today, not played in the Premier League, but made a couple of Champions League appearances as well. But of course, with the Liverpool's defensive issues, arguably one of the reasons they struggled to retain their Premier League title. Van Dijk was out, I think Matip was out. They also had Joe Gomez out for a long while as well. So Nat Phillips sort of stepped up. He won more aerial duels per game than any other defender in the Premier League last season during his time playing for the Liverpool first team. This is one, I think, where, again, it could be a try before you buy. I think Liverpool would probably be open in loaning Nat Phillips out. And obviously, with maybe giving Wolves the option to buy him. I believe they were open to possibly selling Nat Phillips in the summer. And look, I'm not saying he's an absolute world beater, but it would be quite intriguing to see him. Maybe Kilman, Cody, and Nat Phillips across the back line there. That would be, you know, a really decent, solid back three, and he'll be hoping that he can play more often. And I think Wolves, with the current squad depth, can give him the opportunity to do that, especially if we've got 1 or 2 players going away during the Africa Cup of Nations as well. A quick check back to FB Ref as well, and his percentiles are phenomenal. Of course, over the last year or so, it's only been a handful of games for Phillips, but this will be predominantly from the second half of last season for him. And wow, look at those. Compared to other centre-backs in the top 5 leagues across the last year, progressive passes, touches, progressive passes received. The attacking side of things he's really, really strong in, but also those clearances and aerials won 99, which means he's 90. He's better than most of these centre backs for this particular stat in the rest of Europe. So really, really intriguing option. Probably a name, if you put it out to somebody, doesn't sound hugely appealing, but when you look into it a little bit more, Nat Phillips could be a really decent purchase for Wolves, even if we get him on loan for the rest of the season in January. So guys, there are 5 of my suggestions of players, or players of a similar mould that Wolves should be looking out for in the January transfer window. It's no secret that Wolves need to strengthen the team, guys. But let me know your thoughts. Who should the club be looking to sign in the January window? Of course, it was linked with the likes of Renato Sanchez, Sven Botman, all sorts of players in summer. But I've gone with a slightly different angle on a few of these. Hopefully you enjoyed it today. Be sure to hit the like button. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.